Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Hope you're having a happy Thursday. I think today's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. How are you? You know, this time of year is when we're starting to find Creole tomatoes. Now, I'm going to make something today, and I wish I had some Creole tomatoes, and I don't, but I do have some vine-ripened tomatoes because I'm going to make gazpacho. Now, I don't know how you all feel, but I tell you what, when I went for the walk this morning, we left and went out, and it was 7:30 in the morning, and both Monica and I looked at each other like, oh my goodness, it is hot already. Half hour into our walk, we were wringing wet. So today I'm going to do a gazpacho, which is a nice, chill, refreshing soup. So basically what I've done, I've just taken some nice tomatoes, given them a chop, okay? And I got to tell you something, gang. You guys are going to have the recipe for this, all right? But remember, what's most important is always doing things to your taste, all right? For example, red onion, okay? The recipe is going to tell you to put 1 red onion in. This, what I have here, is a half a red onion, okay? I'm not the biggest fan of onion in something like this, very strong. I am. So I am not, I don't know if y'all heard Monica go, I know. So this is going to have more onion in it. I'm sure after I make it, Monica's going to put more in. Hey, but that's okay because it's all about doing it to your taste.
The recipe's at the top of the post.
Oh, the recipe is at the top of the post, gang. You know, if it wasn't for Monica, you all wouldn't be seeing me at all because I don't have a clue I can barely answer my phone, much less film and all of that kind of stuff. A little celery. Now, we're going to season this with a little salt and pepper and a little Creole seasoning. But you know, something with the celery, if you want, if you happen to have a little celery salt at home and not any celery, use a little bit of celery salt. So let's get some celery in here. Now, I've taken some cucumbers. This was an English cucumber that I took it, cut it in half. I cut the cucumber in half, and then cut it again, so I had fourths. Laid it on its side and just basically trimmed the seeds out. You don't have to take the seeds out, but you can if you want. So this is a little diced cucumber that we're going to put in. So you see, we're dealing with ingredients that are fresh. Oh, something I wanted to do, gang. Here, let me grab a little bit of this cucumber back out, and I'll tell you why. You know, this is one of these things where you could make it really crunchy, or you could not. And I'm sorry, I turned the dishwasher on. Stop, cancel. All right, I'm sorry, gang. My hips always turn the dishwasher on. I'm going to show you why I'm pulling this out, because we can put it all in early, because we're going to process it and puree it. So do you want it really smooth or do you want it a little chunky? Here I've taken bell pepper. I had a little red, a little orange, a little bit of the yellow bell pepper. Okay, let's get some of that in. Doesn't this look pretty? Isn't this so pretty? All right, look at that. And of course, if you have green bell pepper, go with the green. Here I have green onion, parsley, and a couple of garlic cloves that I've minced. All right, if you don't have fresh garlic, you know, go ahead and put a little garlic powder in. That's fine. Now, one of my favorite things, corn. I love fresh corn. So I'm going to get some of the corn in, not too much of it. And you could see how this morning, I just cut that right off the cob. See how it's still whole and together? If you don't have corn on the cob, use a frozen corn, because the way the processes, the way the vegetables are processed now, when they flash freeze them, it goes from the product to flash freezing in a matter of like 20 to 30 seconds. So by flash freezing everything, it keeps those flavors in. So if you need to use something that's not fresh, instead of the can, go with a frozen product. And last, we're going to get our tomatoes in, okay? Now, I'm not going to put all our tomatoes in. Let's get that juice in there. We want that juice from those tomatoes in there. Now, let's go ahead and start to season this a little bit, okay? As far as seasoning goes, we're going to do a little salt. And you know, we could just do this with salt and pepper, but you know, hey, I have to use a little bit of Creole seasoning. You know, we got to put that little Louisiana touch to it. I have a little fresh cracked black pepper. How much do you want? It's totally up to you. Now, tomatoes are acidic, okay? And because tomatoes are acidic, this recipe calls for a little bit. Why am I keep turning that on? This recipe calls for a little bit of sugar to help cut the acidity in the tomatoes, okay? The recipe says about a half a teaspoon. I'm gonna do about a full teaspoon because I'm using a lot of tomatoes. We're also gonna get in here, what I have is a 1/4 cup of olive oil and a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, as well as we want a few tablespoons of lemon juice. So here, let's just get our lemon juice right on in here. You know, lemon brightens. The lemon just brightens up the flavor, all right? Let's go ahead and get our olive oil on with our red wine vinegar. And if you don't have red wine vinegar, hey, go with a different type of vinegar, okay? I'm gonna do a few shakes of hot sauce. Totally up to you how much hot sauce you want. But remember, it doesn't just give heat, it gives flavor. And we're gonna do a few tablespoons of Worcestershire. You know, this is one I personally think one of the secret hidden gems in a lot of dishes is Worcestershire, because it gives everything such a nice depth of flavor, okay? And you guys can't see it. Monica's pointing at me like, don't you push your leg on that dishwasher again. And here's the interesting thing, gang. I never use a dishwasher. We always wash by hand. So there's nothing in here. This thing is empty. Well, there is a container in there. Why is that container in there? Cookie must have put that in there, that rascal. 2 cups of tomato juice. Now, I've heard of folks using, a buddy of mine loves V8. He makes it with V8 juice, okay? I like more texture, so instead of just using tomato juice, you could actually do this with crushed tomatoes if you like. And using crushed tomatoes, it'll just give you a little more texture, okay? So let's get that tomato juice in. Now, this is where we can break out the toys, some of the kitchen toys. Because do we want this chunky? Do we not want it chunky? Do we want it totally smooth? That's totally up to your discretion. How would you like it? So I'm going to take our immersion blender, and since Monica likes it chunky, that's the way I like it. Guys, hint, hint, if you're just getting married, do it the way the wife likes it, all right? This is why I saved out some of the other ingredients, because if I go too far, I can always put some in and have more of a texture, all right? Now you can get this fairly smooth. The other thing is with this, if we want, we could go ahead and put this in a blender or pop it in a food processor and just pulse it a little bit. By using the immersion blender, basically it gets those flavors, give those the opportunity to get together. Here, let me take this off. Set this in here. Now, see the texture? We still have chunks. It's fairly smooth, but we still have some chunks in. So now we can go in with the rest of our corn. We can go in with that little bit of cucumber that we took out. Of course, for my lovely bride, we're going to put in a little more red onion. And let's get in some of those bell peppers. So by saving some out, just in case we would have pureed too much, we can always put more in to give that chunky texture, okay? So now, let's just stir these in. Let me get a bigger spoon. Just stir this together. The other thing I like, we use parsley today. If I had some fresh basil, we could put a little fresh basil in here if we want. So just take a little bit, and you notice I'm taking a little bit of the pureed part and tasting that. Because we want to taste for our seasonings, where we need to adjust it. The only thing I'm going to put in, because of the acidity in those tomatoes, a little more sugar. Not too much. Just a little bit to help with the acidity in that. Now, let me show you how I'm going to serve this. This is really cute to do for friends. Gang, I have a little like glass type pitcher here. You can put this in here. Now, normally, I would like to put this in the refrigerator to chill for about 30 minutes. Oh, look at that. So look at that little pitcher. We can also take some. Oh, come here, baby. Let's see if we can get this in the glass and not all on the side of the glass. Oh, look at this. Look how nice that is. And look, I blanched some shrimp earlier. And this is an option. We take our shrimp and just stick a toothpick in the tail. And we can just lay a couple of shrimp right around the glass to serve for friends. As like a little nice springy, well, yeah, appetizer. A little summer appetizer. As you all, I'm being coached because I was mumbling, and don't look at me like that, Monica. All right, but look how nice this looks. And plus, even though it's room temperature right now, I tell you what, this is so refreshing. Now, if you have some gazpacho left, okay, this is a great base. You can puree all of this till it's totally smooth in a blender, especially while it's cold, because you know you have to be careful when you blend things in a blender when they're hot, because you don't want to burn yourself. But totally blend this off, and think of the things that are in here. You can make a wonderful tomato soup with this. You know, put some fresh basil in it, maybe add some cheese to it, heat it up and serve it hot like a nice tomato soup with a little more tomato juice or some more crushed tomatoes in it. So I hope this helps give you a nice, fresh summer feeling. I mean, this is a great recipe, gang, and the most important thing is every time you make it a little bit different to where you like it. Whether it's more bell peppers, whether it's more onion, whether it's you leave the onion out and put just green onions in, always do it to your taste. So I hope you have a great Thursday afternoon. Hopefully you'll make this with your friends and share it with your family. Want you all to be safe. For WWL, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and have a fantastic day.